Hello, New York, New Jersey. How are we doing? Thanks for your patience, guys. Are you guys having fun? Yes, excellent. Now, before we get started, I just want to let you guys know a few things. Katie Cassidy sends her love, but she had a flight issue, so unfortunately she won't be able to join us, but she sends her love and she's sorry. For the microphones, when you're asking questions, I'm barely going to talk since we're running a little behind, so don't worry. But remember, one question each. Please, no special requests, guys. Just come to their booth if you want to do something, all right? So you guys ready? I'm sorry, are you ready for the Arrow cast? All right, we've got David Ramsey, give it up, and Katrina Law.
They break my heart every year.
It's so stupid. What's up, Jersey? Oh. Hey, was anybody in that Snowmageddon 2 season? I heard that was nice because it was like intimate. There were like just a few of us here.
Did you say you were too drunk?
Now.
Yeah, Jersey.
So if I were to start off, I wanted you guys are going on 5 years now. Congratulations. And I have a few questions. I want to see how well you guys know your characters. Don't worry about it. I would like to know if your character had a pet, but it can't be domestic. What would Nissa have and what would Diggle have?
A platypus.
Well, Nissa would have a Siberian tiger.
That's what I was thinking, some type of cat, like giant cat for some reason.
And Diggle would have a tortoise.
Sounds about right. If
Yeah,
your
have a
characters had a theme song, what would it be?
Diggle, 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 diggle. That's easy.
I think I'd have to be, 'cause now we got bad blood.
Yeah, that's
Right? Is
good.
that the
That's
song?
good.
Is that the song?
Nice. And then one more. Your character's already had a day job as a bodyguard. But if he had a different job, and if Nissa, had a job, what would it be?
Besides killing people.
What would your characters, if they had like normal jobs, what would they be?
A normal job for John Diggle? I don't know. What would
like
a normal job
like
for
an
John Diggle
accountant?
be?
He'd be an ice cream
A
scooper.
bouncer? I don't know.
I could
That's
see
a good question. I
bouncer.
was thinking about that. What would your normal job be?
I don't think she would have a job. She'd go the volunteer route, and she would knit sweaters for penguins.
It's beautiful.
Well said.
Thank you.
We can go ahead with some questions. We'll start on that side.
Hi, my name is Al.
Oh,
Hey,
or
Al.
that
That's
side.
a deep voice.
Hi, I'm a college professor, so I'm used to being long-winded, so I hope I'll get this over quickly. First of all, David, I want to thank you for bringing your character to life. You're very sincere when you act, and I really appreciate that. You seem to be the sense of the common sense of the group, and as a viewer, I really appreciate that.
That's very nice, Alan. Thank you for that.
And Miss Law, you are rocking the Eagles shirt. I love you.
Enemy territory, bring it, bring it.
So the last thing I want to ask both of you is I want some sort of sneak peek, if you can give me one, of what we can expect your characters to go through as far as the next season. Will you stay on? Will something happen? We want to know.
I think we're all dead. Like little bits of hamburger meat just like blown all over the trees. seagulls coming down, having a good old time.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole ruse of who's alive and who's dead, I don't know. I think in terms of Diggle, John Diggle next, you're going to see a bit of a role reversal between he and Oliver. Oliver's going to be much more of the mentor. Diggle's going to be going through some things. It's going to be even more, I guess, emotionally taxing than the death of his brother and the death of the canary. It's going to affect himself, his family, the whole team. So there's some really emotional roller coasters for Team Arrow, and Diggle's going to be a big part of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
Depressing times for Arrow coming up.
Hi, I was wondering, what do you guys enjoy most about acting?
What do you enjoy most about acting?
Oh, who we work with. Easy. That's easy. Anytime you go to work and you enjoy the people you work with, doesn't matter what job you're doing, when you enjoy what you're doing, just, how's that saying go? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yep.
Nothing is truer than that when I go to work every day and work with these lovely people who I can easily call friends of mine. So it's a great day at work every time I go.
I think one of the coolest things is probably being able to shoot on locations. Like right now I'm shooting a show in Puerto Rico, and I love it. Except for the hurricanes, they keep evacuating us. So there's that. But I think the coolest thing about acting, and I think universally speaking, is when you have to discover a character, you really have to dig into yourself to figure out what would make you similar to this person. And I think through that, you start to understand people around you. And I think that's a really great way to kind of get to know people, because you get to start to say, like, oh, I can understand your life. I can see your point of view. And it's different from mine. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And it starts connecting people. And then also when people come up and say, oh, you understand my life through the character or the story that you just told. That's my life. And I think that's why people enjoy watching it, because they get to live vicariously through these characters, or get to say that somebody else understands who I am. So I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my question is for Katrina. So we know that her last name is Ghul and her dad's Ra's al Ghul, but when Oliver and Merlin take over the League of Assassins, they get called Ra's al Ghul too. So why is that her last name?
Why is it my dad's name?
Why
is Al Ghul their name as well? Because he's your dad, but why do they also have Al Ghul?
I think it's more of a title. So I think once you become that person, whoever's in your family, so maybe once my dad wasn't Ra's al Ghul anymore, maybe I would be called something else. I don't know. I have to talk to Denny O'Neil about this and ask him to please explain himself. Wow, you just called him out. Okay.
Hello.
Hi. When Roy left, he said he was going to take a new title in a different city. People think that Vigilante might be Roy. Is there any chance that he could be the villain this season?
That's a good thing. People think Roy is Vigilante. Is there any chance he may be back as a villain this season? Oh. That's a smart kiddo over there.
You looking at me because you know I give spoilers. Aren't you? I don't know, honestly. But I do know Roy's supposed to come back. Colton's
Yes.
coming back.
Colton's coming back.
Yeah. Colton's great. We really miss him a lot. I mean, every time he comes to the show, he just brings this great energy to the show. And Roy Harper is terrific, just a terrific character. So, but that's an interesting idea. I don't know. They haven't. Yeah, they have. They have told us who Prometheus is. Actually, I do know. But Roy, I don't know what capacity Roy's coming back. I don't know if he's coming back as Red Arrow. I don't know what exactly the storyline is, but Colton's coming back. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have to
You're
make
the
sure.
softie.
Hello, my name is Dave. First of all, before I ask my question will be for Katrina. I wish you a happy birthday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. You rock. You do so many great things for everybody. So I'm just always amazed. And my question is, what do you see for Nissa in the upcoming season of Arrow? Because she's been away after this season passed, she's been away for a while. So what do you upcoming see for her role?
I really don't know if she survives the island. I don't know. Because she's hamburger meat. That being said, there's always a wave runner that goes back in time. So my hope is that we get to see the Sarah, Lance, and Nissa origin story and how they met, how she trained her, how they fell in love.
Oh yeah.
That's my hope.
Oh yeah.
I also would like to see you and Black Siren interact at some point.
Make
in time.
out?
I mean, if they choose.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, because
But
we're
if like
friends.
Black Siren had a redemption storyline like later on, you would be like Nissa would be helping her.
Wait, we're
you
making
know?
out? That's all I keep hearing. Make out?
I mean that too. It's
Yes.
fine. But
Wait, what?
that would be a good redemption arc if Nissa helped.
If we made out.
Yes, that
Okay,
is
cool,
the start of the story. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Were you guys already comic book fans before you were filming in Arrow?
Were you already comic book fans?
Yeah, I was a huge comic. I'm still a big comic book fan. Not as big as I was maybe when I was your age, but I was huge, man. I loved comic books. I was probably a little bit more into Marvel at the time. I mean, I loved all the big DC characters, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, and Aquaman, all those cats. But I loved more of the obscure Marvel characters, like Moon Knight and some other like strange characters, and so yeah, I was more of a Marvel kid, but I was a comic geek. So when I got the part, man, I was super stoked, So yeah, I was very excited about it.
I wouldn't say I was a huge fan. I think I was a mediocre normal fan. Like I loved Batman and Superman, and I had Batman sheets. But I feel like every kid had Batman sheets because
didn't.
it was an obligation.
I didn't have Batman sheets.
did
Do you have
too.
Superman? No. Did you just like draw bats
I had a
on your sheet?
Batman blanket. At one point in time, I
Do you
may still
feel-
have it.
Do you feel left out? I
A
think,
little bit, yeah, I feel left out. Do you have Batman sheets?
Somebody
No?
needs to get him Batman sheets.
You need to get some Batman sheets.
What size bed do you have, King?
He's
California
like,
King?
Yeah, I need
California
some
King Batman sheets.
Don't
Somebody hook
do
him
not
up.
send me California King Batman sheets.
No, do it. Do it. Make
Don't
sure
send
they're
me Batman
silk
sheets.
or
Batman-
like
Batman sheets,
1,000
man.
thread count Egyptian cotton.
Hey, these people really do it because I was in a panel. You guys remember this stuff, right? I was in a panel like a year ago, maybe a little less, and I was just joking. First of all, you're the best fans in the world.
Yes, you
Period.
are. You
in the
really
store,
are.
forget about it. Best fans. And I was on a panel, and I said, Flash, literally, the Flash set, as Katrina knows, the Flash set and the Arrow set are separated by a wall. I mean, we literally work right next door to each other. And you can walk over to the Flash set, and they can walk over to ours, and you can go to their craft service department, see, grab some food, and they can come over and grab some food from us, whatever. But they had like Sprite and Mountain Dews and Cokes. We don't have any of that stuff over at Arrow, right? We don't have any fun, sugary soda. So I said this, just kind of joking.
Yeah.
There were 10,000 cans of Coke that got shipped to Vancouver for the next week. They just kept coming in droves and droves and droves. We got your back, Dave. Forget Flash. We got your Coke, buddy. I was just like, I posted it, like all the mountains of Coke, Coca-Cola. Mountains of Coca-Cola.
He really does need
So
new sheets, though.
don't joke about the bed sheets. They will do it. They will do it.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you've done for the show, guys. I just wanted to know, what was the favorite scene each of you guys had on Arrow so far? And as a bonus question for Miss Katrina, if she knows about Netflix and like Elektra from Daredevil, if she thinks the style could beat her in a fight.
Okay. Do you think Nissa could be Netflix's Elektra in a fight? Nissa versus
Yeah.
Elektra. And then what was favorite
Your
scene?
favorite from each of your characters so far in the show.
Favorite scene to film so far?
I think my favorite scene was episode 2, season finale. It was with the Mirakuru soldiers versus Team Arrow when we were all lined up in the tunnel, and they had about 30 of the Mirakuru soldiers. Whoa. With the mask running towards us, and then Team Arrow would start to run towards them, and it was so exciting because as we were running towards each other, I actually felt like my adrenaline starting to pump up, and then as we ran, I'm like, oh my God, I hope they stop, because, because it was a little scary, but it was so much fun.
David?
Favorite scene? There's so many fun scenes. You know, there's a lot of fun stuff that has nothing to do with the scenes when you're working with Steven and John Barrowman. You know, they don't have anything to do with the scene. It's just we crack each other up. But if I had to kind of pick a great scene this season, from any scene, like ever, I don't know. It would probably be okay, yeah, I got it. It was the moment, the first season, right? It was me and Steven. I met Steven, and when I first met Steven, we really connected. We met at this place called the Sutton, where they kept all the actors that were shooting a pilot, right? And we were shooting a pilot. So we got picked up. So now we're in the mansion. It's the first season Queen Mansion. And I'm his bodyguard slash chauffeur. Quick story. I'll make it quick. Okay. So the scene is that Steven's sitting in a chair, the camera's facing him, and I come up behind him and I say, Mr. Queen, your car is ready, right? So the camera's pushing in on him because he's supposed to have a moment where it's like, should I go to the car or should I not, right? So it's pushing up on him. It's very dramatic. So he didn't know I was insanely stupid. He didn't know this. He thought I was like this really serious, dramatic actor. So I come up to him and whisper in his ears, and I say, I say, Mr. Queen, I have the biggest you've ever seen before in your life. And he goes, and since then we've been cracking each other up.
Thank you.
So that was like the funniest scene that me and Steven have ever done. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
Good.
Hi, I was wondering what your favorite and least favorite cast member is to work with.
Oh.
What did you say?
Favorite and least favorite cast member is?
How are you gonna ask us that right now?
What was that extra that died in scene 2?
I know, right? Yeah.
That guy was terrible.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
Yeoman number 5. You know, it's Star Trek, like the yeoman number 1 will always die.
It's so hard. Everybody on this cast, Arrow is so fortunate because there are a lot of cast out there that you always have that one person that's kind of a jerk, which nobody's ever going to tell you because they're professional actors. But Arrow seriously has one of the best casts, and they all get along. Everybody's so lovely, and like for me, I am Marie Kerr on the show, so they just kind of like fly me up and down every now and then, and they're always so welcoming. Always get a hug from everybody, and on set it's just fun. So depending on who you're having the scene with, you just have a good day. So I don't know if there's necessarily a favorite person. There might be a favorite character that you would want to be. Which, I would totally be his character, so I could be surprised by everything. But everybody's just wonderful, and I know that's so cliche, but it's really just a great cast.
It's true. It's true. It really is one of those lightning in a bottle things, and it just goes back to, I think there's really something. I hate to say this because I say it a lot, and it sounds kind of cliche, and I don't know what it sounds like, but. There really is something special about Arrow. Arrow kind of started it. We really were in the shadow of Smallville. No one expected this show to do well. well, they hoped it did well, but no one thought that 5 shows, Netflix, Marvel's Agents, all this stuff was spawned out of the success of Arrow. No one saw that. So, and it really had a lot to do with not just the brilliant writing, and Greg Berlanti is brilliant, there's without a doubt about it, but it had to do with that magic that the cast was and is. And that's a very rare thing. It's very, very rare. And so it's tough to say the least and the favorite, because it really is something very special. You know, I think once you kind of have that, you can't really duplicate it. So we got out of that question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's your favorite blooper?
Favorite blooper.
I got one. The new one, when Steven is screaming at Chase and he's chained up and he's screaming and he's like, "No, what do you want?" And he falls right on his face. It's the funniest thing
That might
ever.
be my
'Cause
favorite
he's like
too.
ripped up and his shirt is off. He's like, "What do you want from me?" It's hilarious. It's so funny. Oh my God. That's my favorite book.
Yeah, I'm with him on that one. It's so good.
Yeah, that's easily, it just tops all the bloopers.
Thank you.
Hi. My question is for about both of you. As far as how do you think your characters have developed from the beginning to where you are now? Like, how do you think they've matured as far as mentality and how the reaction between all, or the relationship between all the characters have grown? Pretty much. Like, how have you guys grown from the beginning to where you guys are now? Like, how much of a tighter bond have you guys all become with everything that's going on with Oliver and everything that's happened throughout the show?
Well, I think Nyssa has grown immensely. She's gone from this black and white character who is, this is good, this is evil, you're on my side, you're not on my side, to starting to see the gray colors in situations. She's learned a lot from the Lance sisters. You know, she started off knowing exactly who she was and everything that she was meant to be, to having it all ripped away from her, including the love of her life and the title and her father, to having to really develop as a person and figure out what friendship means, what loyalty means, and what love means. So I think she's really starting to become a really well-rounded character who is having some growing pains, but I think for the better.
And that really comes from the I think the relationship that Katrina has with Nyssa, because she's brought so much of that character. I mean, I didn't, when I first saw Katrina on the set, I didn't think that it was going to expand as much as it did. And it's really because Katrina was so brilliant in that role, and she really is incredible as Nyssa. So it's just...
I paid him to say that.
She did, and I'm upping my fee. But in terms of John Diggle, I mean, I can't ask for a better ride, dude. I mean, he's part of the DC Comics, and I mean, he's now, you know, Oliver's right-hand guy. He's become a full-fledged, you know, superhero, Spartan. It's just a wonderful thing. So I'm very happy with the evolution, and it's still going. The relationship between he and his wife, who's the head of Argus, there's a whole thing going on with that. We're still not done with some of the stuff happening with Flashpoint. You know, how that affects Diggle. You know, Diggle's effect of what happened on the island. I mean, there's a lot of exploration we still have to do with him, who his parents are. There's a lot of stuff that still has to be uncovered about Diggle. So I'm very happy to be part of this mythos that we're creating, really. This is a brand new original character. So it's really awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. So my question is, who do you guys think in the Arrow cast would be the first and last to die in a horror movie?
These are good questions, Jersey. I wasn't expecting these coming.
Echo.
Yeah, that's good.
The first to die or the last?
We'd be the first.
Well, he'll be the first. I mean, he's black.
Yeah, that's...
So there's that. I had to say that. The last to die? would, oh, the last to die.
Felicity was sacrificed for somebody, totally.
Yeah, she was sacrificing herself.
She and Arrow would probably like die arm in arm saving you.
I know, exactly. Who would be the last to die?
I feel like
would
you.
Be Barrowman.
Yes.
That's
Because he's
Merlin
actually
was
the murderer.
suicide.
He's the murderer.
Yeah, and he's the magician, so
Oh
he
my
would
God.
be the last one to die.
Or he would help them kill all of
Yeah,
you.
exactly,
And then
exactly.
Thank you.
Hi. So Arrow was what got me obsessed with TV. So I just want to thank you guys for being a part of that. And my question is, if you survive this season, what do you think is like gonna affect you, and how are your characters gonna feel after?
I think if Nissa survived, she would have an eye patch. And it would take her a while to get used to depth perception. So you would see her running into a lot of things, and that would really annoy her.
Oh, that's such a dope answer. I love that answer. Because I really thought you were going someplace with that. It was like, she had a problem with depth perception because she have an eye injury, major eye injury if she survived.
A little piece of like tree bark got,
Diggle.
She just snorted.
How would Diggle? I don't know. I mean, Diggle's going to have some problems. I already told you that. He's going to have some issues after the island. How he's going to deal with it? He's going to have to depend on his team. I'm throwing you nuggets, guys. I'm throwing you nuggets. Yeah, he's going to have to depend on his team. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Since you guys are the veterans of the show, if you got to bring back one person, who would it be?
If you had to bring one person back, who would it be?
One person that's gone from the show? Moria Queen. Mommy Queen. Loved her. Loved her.
What was his name? Tommy?
Tommy? You guys Tommy fans? Oh, he's gonna replay this over and over again.
Yep. If you could be any other character in the Arrow, who would you be, and why?
Any other character in the Arrowverse?
God, I have such inappropriate answers.
Any other character in the Arrowverse? I would probably be. Well, who would you be?
I would be Felicity, and I would make her suddenly have a crush on Nissa.
I can't even top that one. Wow. But why? Oh, to have that's the reason why, to have a crush on this. Okay.
She likes blondes, so
She
it's
likes
just
that
gotta
blonde,
get them all.
I would be Chase. I liked his commitment. He was so committed that he just took himself out. I mean, he was hard. That was a hard villain. To me, Adrian Chase and Slade were our two top villains to me, And both of those guys had serious commitment, to the end. They saw it through. But the reason why I would want it is because I would try to team up with Oliver if I was Chase, because he nearly equaled him in skill set. So what both of them could have done for Starling City together would have been great. So I would have done that.
Thank you.
I asked this question yesterday to the newer Arrowcast, and I was wondering, because the Emmys are on tonight, do you guys ever feel left out, that the Academy essentially ignores the whole superhero genre And then also, David, do you have any plans of coming back to Blue Bloods?
The last question, do I have any plans to come back to Newark?
Blue Bloods.
The Blue Bloods, I see. No, I think I was always told cream rises to the top. It's just a matter of time, and we might be paving the way for other shows. You know, you never know where you land. History tells the story, right? So through time, we kind of figure out when we look back where we landed and how we helped other things. We stood on the shoulders of Smallville, right? Someone's going to stand on our shoulders. It's just the way it works. So maybe the Academy don't necessarily recognize this genre right now, but they will as more great shows are written and produced, and they will stand on our shoulders. So it might not be Arrow. It might be some wonderful show that comes after Arrow, or it might be Legends, or it might be Daredevil. It might be something else that is spawned from this great universe that we've created. So that's the first answer. The second answer is no, unfortunately. I won't be going back to Blue Bloods. Lorraine Bracco, a wonderful actress, is now the mayor on Blue Bloods. But it was a wonderful show. Donnie Wahlberg and Tom Selleck are two of the best people I've ever met. And it was a fun ride on Blue Bloods. But that's done now. I couldn't get back. It was Arrow or Blue Bloods. I chose Arrow. Not really. I was just fired from Blue Bloods. That's really the truth. I'm kidding. That's messed up.
Thank you. Good.
Do you have to work out for the show, or are you usually just jacked? Normal question.
Just always jacked.
He came out, he was born like that.
Yeah.
Just came out that way.
I'm always jacked. Yeah, we work out for the show. You know, it'd be nice if we had like a trailer, like a workout trailer that we can always work out on. Me and Steven talk about that a lot because we kind of have to find our own time to train. But no, we train a lot. It's a funny dude because, you know, I didn't always look like this. No. Steven in the first season, you talk about jacked, he was a monster. Literally a monster. And like he had like 3% body fat. You look at any poster from the first season, it's just like, who is he? Like he was a monster. And I told this story before, but we were doing a photo shoot. We were at some building. There are a number of rooms. Imagine the rooms. I'm in one, Katie Cassidy, Willa Holland, Stephen Amell. I walk down the hall. Stephen sees me. I don't see him, but I hear him say, "Hey, Dave, come here." So I'm like, okay. I go into the room. I don't see him yet. When I walk into the room, Stephen doesn't have on a shirt. And he's like doing whatever, eating fruit, writing music. Who knows what he was doing? I don't know what he was doing, but he didn't have on a shirt. So I'm looking at this dude, and it's just muscles everywhere. And he's like, "So Dave, man, you know, I like your character and whatnot." He's moving around, and like you see him lats and abs. And I'm looking at this dude like, "I'm your bodyguard?" Like, for real? So after that, I started juicing. No, I'm kidding. So after that, I just hit the gym, man. I got a trainer and just hit it hard. Yeah. So I have to work at this. I do. It's not natural at all. In terms of like, I wasn't born. You know, I'm not naturally like really big. I had to keep up with Steven, and that was the truth.
Thank you. Guys, we have time for just a few more questions.
I am Samir. If you would be a superhero or a supervillain, who would you be?
If you could be a superhero or a supervillain.
I would be a villain, and I would totally be the Penguin. I don't know why. I'm really liking penguins these days. I feel like it's my spirit animal somehow. So.
I would be a super villain right now because I'm playing. I don't know how much more of a noble hero you can get than Diggle. He's incredibly dedicated, loyal, and noble. So I'm not quite sure how much higher you can get than that. So it'll be super villain for me, and it'll be Darkseid. Yeah. It'll be Darkseid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is a question from like season 3.
What was your reaction when you found out that Nessa was going to marry Oliver?
So when you've been in this industry for long enough and you get scripts and you start to read what your character is going to do, you're usually not surprised whenever they tell you you're about to do this. You're like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Even when they were like, oh, this is going to be your character, it's fine. But let me tell you, when I read all of a sudden that they were getting engaged, my jaw dropped, I dropped the script, and I probably laughed maniacally for about 20 minutes. Because I was like, oh my God, the fandom is going to lose their minds. What is it, Elicity fans? And I was just like, ooh, this one's gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt bad. Oh yeah, it did. So teasing them has been fun, and I really get a sick kind of joy whenever I call him husband, because I know, because I feel them all being like, so it cracks me up.
Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Miguel. A question to John. Who will win in a fight, you or Oliver in real life?
I love it because I always answer to John. You know? Hey, Diggle! I'm like, yes. Who will win in a fight between Oliver and Diggle?
Yeah.
Oliver. He's like the best fighter in the world next to Bruce Wayne. So, like, he would, That's wrong to say?
And how about arm wrestling as you, as David, and as Steven, like a real arm wrestling?
You guys, what do you want? Why do you want us to fight? I just told you we have such a wonderful relationship. It's like, well, who would win? Me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, we have time for 2 more questions.
Hi, so David, my question is more so for you. So I don't know when I'm going to get the opportunity to do this again because I'm going to be shipping out sometime soon. So I wanted to thank you for portraying the role of a soldier so well. You know, watching your character be this strong leader really helped develop me as an officer in the military. I've been a military police officer for 8 years now.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So, David, my question for you is, would you allow me to present you with my challenge coin that my commander before me gave to me for my last deployment?
Yes. Please, come on up. Thank you. That's very sweet. Can I hug you? Our servicemen and women, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is wonderful. We take what we do with Diggle in terms of his commitment to the oath he swore to his country very seriously on the show. And we have a couple of TAs that served, and they're always correcting us in terms of how we should conduct ourselves, the language. So we owe a great deal of debt to you. And so thank you. This means a lot to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You can be our last question right there.
Hi. I'm going to give Diggle the parent question. So, baby Sarah or baby John?
Oh, baby Sarah. I miss baby Sarah so much, and I love baby John Diggle. But baby Sarah was every time me and Audrey, Lila, my wife, on the show, every time we were in a moment and the camera would pan over to baby Sarah, she would always have some look like, you know what I mean? Or when she was on the back of my motorcycle when I was riding, being chased by Hive or whoever, and she was just riding like, I'm riding with Dad. I mean, she had the greatest mugs and looks. I mean, I really do miss the actress. I think she moved to Toronto. So, unfortunately.
Thank you. Guys, thank you so
Thanks,
much for
Jersey.
coming
Thanks,
out.
guys,
with
for coming
us.
out.
David and Katrina.
I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving, so keep dancing.